Let's turn now to the press review. Florence Villemino is here. Morning to you, Flo.
Hi, Hala.
We're going to start off on this cabinet reshuffle, the third of François Hollande's presidency, but the press isn't impressed.
That's right. Le Parisien actually calls it very disappointing, this cabinet reshuffle. And let's take a look at the front page of Le Parisien. They talk about Monsieur Bricolage. Bricolage is DIY work you might do on your house on a Sunday. It's also the name of a very popular chain of home improvement goods here in France. And according to Aujourd'hui en France, Le Parisien, that's exactly what François Hollande is doing in this cabinet reshuffle. He's kind of sprucing up his cabinet. Why? Because there's that 2017 presidential election just around the corner. In its editorial, Le Parisien says that in this one cabinet reshuffle, well, François Hollande pretty much lost all his credibility as president. Why is that? Well, because this is all political strategy. He's clearly showing he's obsessed with being reelected in 2017. And what's upsetting is that François Hollande had really earned his stripes as president last year, the way he dealt with the Grexit crisis and the Paris attacks. And, well, he lost all that credibility with this one cabinet reshuffle.
OK, well, that's harsh words from Le Parisien, but even harsher, I imagine, from the right-wing press. What's Le Figaro saying?
Well, Le Figaro also likens Hollande to someone doing a little home improvement on a Sunday. Let's take a look at their front page. They talk about how he's papering over the cracks one last time before finishing up his presidency. It's so disappointing. More disappointment in Le Figaro. In their editorial, they're particularly disappointed because they were hoping that he could do a lot better, because everyone was expecting this cabinet reshuffle, and they were hoping, well, it was going to be a lot better than this one. He's trying to rub everyone the right way, according to Le Figaro. He's trying to reassure his own socialists, and he's trying to neutralize the Green Party. Welcome to the Titanic. That's what it says in its editorial. The government is going to continue to sink until the bitter end of François Hollande's 5-year presidency. It's surprising he found anyone to come on board at all.
Oh, bless. The one man that did decide to board the ship of fools, as the Figaro would probably call it, is Jean-Marc. He's, of course, the former Prime Minister, and he's now the new Minister of Foreign Affairs.
That's right. Welcome back to the future. That's what a lot of papers are saying today. You can see a very interesting analysis piece in Le Monde today, which talks about a former prime minister at the Quai d'Orsay, which is the name of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now, outgoing Laurent Fabius and his predecessor, Alain Juppé, were both prime ministers before being foreign minister as well. But this is the very first time in French history that a prime minister has gone into another ministry during the same presidency. And what's interesting is it's kind of a lower rank than prime minister as well. Why the comeback? Well, according to Le Monde, Hollande wants some friends that he can count on in the government. And even though they've had some disagreements, Jean-Marc has always been very loyal to François Hollande.
Well, the same can't be said, though, for the 3 members of the Green Party that have joined the government, can they?
That's right. Let's take a look at the front page of Libération. It's talking about les derniers verres pour la route. Now, this is kind of a play on words. If you understand French, it means the last greens for the road, but also the last drink for the road. Now, what's interesting is the Green Party and the Socialist Party have had kind of a love-hate relationship for years. And at the beginning of François Hollande's presidency, they actually formed a coalition. But when the Prime Minister, Manuel Valls, became Prime Minister 2 years ago, the Green members of the government left to kind of stage a protest. Well, now they're back, but different ones. You have Jean-Marc Placé, Barbara Pompili, and then you have Emmanuelle Cos. She's a major catch for François Hollande. You can read more about it in Libération, because until yesterday, she was the national secretary for the Green Party. Now, she quit to join the government, but it's a really impressive catch for the government, because up until now, she's been very critical of the government, including on Twitter. And actually, a lot of her old tweets that were pretty harsh about François Hollande's policies have kind of resurfaced ever since she has joined the government. But now she's housing minister. And you can see they're talking about she's housing minister, et les Verts sont à la rue. Essentially, the Green Party is kind of left behind and coughing up the dust as she zooms away with the government. So if François Hollande's strategy is to neutralize the Green Party, it certainly seems to be working.
Well, maybe some broken hearts in the Green Party, but they can take a tip or two, can't they, from 20 Minutes today?
That's right. 20 Minutes has a very interesting report on what to do if you get a lover's tattoo, someone's name or a symbolic joint tattoo, and then you break up. This is, of course, a Valentine's Day special for 20 Minutes, and it quotes a tattoo artist saying that every year couples come in on Valentine's Day, they get matching tattoos or their respective names, etc.
Why would you do that?
And because then they come back, a short while later to get the tattoo removed. So what can you do? Well, there's several options. You can get these tattoos covered up with another tattoo, and a lot of tattoo artists actually refuse to do this, but some do, and they say, look, it's kind of a challenge because you have to find, you either completely black it out, or you find a way to put it into a heart or a rose or something like that. Or a lot of them covering them up with snakes. Apparently the scales are very good for covering up people's names.
Very apt as well if it's a breakup.
Exactly, pretty symbolic. But the problem is the person's name is still on your skin, even if it's covered up by something. So the other option is to get it removed with laser therapy, I guess that's what you call it. Or you could just not get that person's name
That would be the sensible approach, I would say.
Because if you look at this article, the very first sentence is this one, and I think it's something to bear in mind on Valentine's Day. Love never lasts, tattoos last forever. So happy Valentine's Day. Perhaps don't go to the tattoo parlor.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be my first thing. Stick with flowers and chocolates,
Yeah,
I'd
definitely.
say. Is the best. We can expect a lot more Valentine stuff in the press over the next couple of days. But thanks for kicking us off with that one. With the French press review, we're going to be hearing a lot more from Flo when she joins me again at 9:15 French time. We'll be going through the international papers. We'll also have our business editor, Will Hildebrandt, here to take us through the business news in full.